this is an article that I found that seemed pretty good, as my classic stomach rumbling trigger features yet again. This has a list of 30 artists who changed music forever. Now, don't come at me in the comments if this doesn't include, a certain somebody you think deserves to be here. Let's start a conversation, make a case for anyone else who you think deserves to be here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe KSI, but I'm hoping he deserves to be in this list. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the list. I'm assuming these will be in chronological order, but I could be wrong, but we begin with number 30, with the Stooges. Garage rock pioneers, the Stooges, particularly their singer and wild-eyed provocateur Iggy Pop, were the very antithesis of hippie utopianism, singing songs of brutal indignation and world-weary nihilism. Forged in the steely streets of Detroit, the pairing of Ron Ashton's raucous hard rock guitar riffs and Iggy Pop's banshee howl caused a stir with the underground rock fraternity. The Stooges' initial trio of albums, The Stooges, Funhouse, and the David Bowie-helmed Raw Power, are pro-punk classics which would go on to influence everyone from Ramones to Sex Pistols. If any band was punk before its time, it was the Stooges. And my song is 1969. Next up we have the Notorious B.I.G. Evoking the streets of New York City through his deep-toned rhymes, larger-than-life gangster rapper Biggie Smalls was hard to beat, slamming his school teachers for failing to recognise his talent, and taunting his West Coast rivals with a G-Funk player's anthem, Big Poppa. The rapper's death came far too soon. Musically, what he left us was golden. Biggie's classic albums Ready to Die and Life After Death still offer aspiring MCs a lyrical masterclass in visceral storytelling. And this article's master track is Hypnotize. Now we have Lou Reed. From a seminal stint in the Andy Warhol-sponsored art rock group The Velvet Underground to the deviant rock aesthetic of his solo years, Lou Reed was for many years a transgressive pariah. However, it was the 1989 album New York that saw Reed's strengths coalesce into a series of novelistic depictions of urban alienation and social decay. A literary rock hero among the world's most influential musicians. What a must hear is Walk on the Wild Side. Tell you what, this article has some great words in, some great ASMR sounding words. Next we have Otis Redding. Until his death in 1967, Otis Redding took soul music in new directions, with his Monterey Pop Festival performance channeling rock and roll for four. The possibilities seemed boundless. The Georgia-born singer was poised to fuse soul with folk influences and even psychedelia. It's a real tragedy. He was taken so early from us in a plane crash at the age of just 26. The musical inroads Redding made would later be re-explored by Sly Stone and Marvin Gaye. Without Otis, however, we'd have never discovered what's going on. The must here is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Now we have The Doors. If there's one man who popularised the notion of the doomed rock and roll poet, it's Jim Morrison. Frontman of The Doors, Morrison's ever-rebellious spirit, along with his sensual baritone and shamanistic stage antics, saw him evangelise a poetic philosophy never seen before in rock music. Whereas Bob Dylan built words out of surrealistic wordplay, Morrison brought a darker vision to life through characters such as the Lizard King, supported by the jazz-influenced psychedelic blues of Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore on the drums. More than just an icon, Jim Morrison's early death robbed us of one of the most acclaimed musicians of his era, an inspiration for acts as diverse as Joy Division and Iron in Excess. He said Iron Excess. Next we have the Sex Pistols. There's little to say about Sex Pistols that hasn't already been said, so let's get to the chase. The Pistols were a hugely influential band in 70s Britain, without whom the punk revolution would not exist. After Johnny Rodden's Clarion Call, Anarchy in the UK, the whole musical landscape of the late 70s and early 80s was redrawn, with the band's mix of noisy distortion and political satire, setting the blueprint for all to follow, from politicised post-punk to intelligent synth pop. It all started with Sex Pistols. And a must-hit is Pretty Vacant. At number 24 we have Daft Punk. The helmeted French house DJs Daft Punk were a futuristic hurricane that blew away the Taki Eurodance dominating the early 90s club scene. Appearing like sci-fi B-movie overlords, their hook-heavy dance beats and use of vocoder, elevated disco-tinged influences and reprogrammed pop music, with game-changing albums such as 2001's Discovery and 2013's Random Access Memories. Appealing to clubgoers, rock fans and hip-hop heads alike, the best Daft Punk songs taught a whole generation to fall in love with house music all over again. Must-hit is Around the World. I love that tune, so good. Here we have Neil Young, with his down-at-heel folk rock and his skin-crawlingly scratchy guitar solos. Neil Young was in fine form throughout the 70s, with an impressive run of albums that included everything from untouchable country-tinged ballads to punk-inspired odes to oblivion such as Hey Hey, My My. A prickly but much-needed presence on the music scene, the Canadian singer-songwriter's vocal delivery and lo-fi swampy production proved hugely influential on the likes of Kurt Cobain and Eddie Vedder, leading Young to be christened the godfather of grunge. One of the many garlands that have long cemented his place among the most influential musicians of all time. And a must-hit is Heart of Gold. Next up we have the Smiths. Beating Britpop to the punch by a decade, the Smiths were arguably the most influential British guitar band of the 80s. Thanks to Morrissey's cynical humour and Johnny Marr's jangling riffs, the Manchester foursome expressly captured the wild weariness of Thatcher's Britain and evoked a melancholia that went on to influence emo punk acts like Fall Out Boy. Just like peeking into a misfit's diary, Morrissey's lyrics still resonate today. And a must-hear is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. At number 21 we have Aretha Franklin. The best Aretha Franklin songs brought the power of gospel singing to soul music and 60s R&B. Undoubtedly the Queen of Soul, Franklin's uplifting covers of Otis Redding's Respect and the Bacharach and Al David penned I Say a Little Prayer instantly became the definitive versions. Meanwhile, a celebration of womanhood, Natural Woman continue to inspire female singers to this day. No Aretha, no Tina, no Whitney, no Beyonce. It's as simple as that. And a must is I Say a Little Prayer. A great tune. Number 20 we have the Pet Shop Boys. When lyricist Neil Tennant and keyboardist Chris Lowe hit number 1 in the UK in 1986 with West End Girls, it kick-started a synth-pop dominance that culminated in the duo squaring Bruce's accolade and guitar riffs and Bernard Edwards' fluid bass proved inspirational to many musicians. You can hear their influence on such artists such as Duran Duran's new wave pop, and on David Bowie's early 80s Voltface. Later, the sampling era meant echoes of Nile Rodgers riffs reverberated in genres such as French house and hip-hop. In many ways, Chic proved that disco never dies. Must it is Le Freak. 18, we have Johnny Mitchell, or Joni Mitchell, I've never heard of her, sorry. Across her expansive body of work, folk singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell has given poetic expression to themes of romanticism and longing. From environmentally conscious protest songs to dreamy meditations on the coming of age, the Canadian musician emerged from the late 60s hippie scene to inspire countless female musicians across the years, most notably Laura Marling and Taylor Swift, paving the way for women to express their innermost emotions. Joni Mitchell's place among most influential musicians of all time is assured, and there goes my stomach again. A must-hear for Joni Mitchell is A Case of You. Next up, Radiohead. I really like Radiohead. Radiohead's evolution from post-grunge upstarts in Creep to electronic innovators in Idiotic easily marks them as one of the most influential British bands since the Beatles. Regarded today as doom icons, the band's near-apocalyptic soundscapes and Tom York's anguish falsetto on albums such as The Bends and OK Computer went on to inspire the likes of Muse and Coldplay. And Muse is one of my favourite bands of all time, so thank you Radiohead. From Kid A onwards, however, Radiohead set the bar for any band who wants to push the sonic barriers of music, and they continue to soundtrack our times better than anyone else. And a must-hear is Paranoid Android, which is a great song. Next up we have Joy Division / New Order. Joy Division's short-lived reign saw the Manchester icons inspire a wave of cerebral post-punk musicians, from maudlin goth rockers to introspective dream poppers. Shortly after frontman Ian Curtis's death, the band's remaining musicians regrouped as New Order, and did as much to define the 80s as they had the late 70s. Whereas Joy Division evoked the dystopic realities of urban life, the Chicago house-infused experimentation of New Order was equally revolutionary. And a must-hear is Blue Monday. Next we have Nirvana. From its choppy guitar riff and explosive drum break, it was obvious Smells Like Teen Spirit would change music forever. Yeah, absolute belter. Spearheading the alternative rock explosion of the 90s, Nirvana kicked open the door not just to grunge but also to pop punk, third wave ska and even nu metal. Their legacy is still ongoing. The power of Kurt Cobain's cathartic songwriting continues to appeal to younger generations, as Post Malone's 2020 Nirvana livestream tribute proved, a truly historic band. Number 14 we have Stevie Wonder. Motown legend Stevie Wonder went from 60s boy wonder to pioneering sonic innovator in the 70s. From Music of My Mind to Songs in the Key of Life, the legendary songwriter used synthesizers to diversify the sound of song music, doubling this with quasi-spiritual live performances. It was Stevie Nicks' Gypsy Queen persona that helped carve out a new path for women in rock and roll, marking her out as one of the most influential musicians among a group full of them. And a must hear is Dreams. You knew this man was going to be on this list. Next up is Michael Jackson, a singer, dancer and showbiz legend. Michael Jackson was the ultimate pop icon. With Motown DNA in his blood, he emerged from a childhood fronting Jackson 5 to establish himself as one of the most influential musicians of all time, starting with his debut solo album Off the Wall. Jackson's star rose exponentially with 1982's Thriller, a global bestseller full of instantly classic hit singles that saw him cross genres and redefine the pop template for a whole new era. Often imitated, never bettered. A must hear is Billie Jean, which you could pick any of his songs to be a must hear on, honestly. And number 11 we have Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. Vaunted as the voice of a generation, Bob Dylan opened the floodgates for the counterculture to come streaming through. From his Woody Guthrie-inspired folk poetry to his hyper-illiterate take on roots rock, Dylan influenced rivals such as the Beatles to be more lyrically ambitious and socially attuned. Without his penmanship or his ballsiness to go electric, we arguably wouldn't have the folk rock boom or even the Laurel Canyon songwriting explosion of the early 70s. A true giant. And his master is Like a Rolling Stone. And then we go to the final 10 now, beginning with Madonna. Arguably the biggest of all female megastars, Madonna, the queen of pop, set the bar for women in music to aspire to, with hits ranging from the dance pop into the groove to the gospel tinkled like a prayer. Madonna constantly reinvented herself to meet new styles and trends. Never afraid of causing controversy, she also consolidated the importance of fashion in defining mainstream pop. Madonna's enduring influence on both the look and the sound of female pop artists can be seen in the work of Lady Gaga and Dua Lipa, and a must hear is Like a Prayer. Next we have Kraftwerk, who I've never heard of. German electro voyagers Kraftwerk pioneered the use of synthesizers and electronic beats from the mid-70s onwards. The band's innovations set new sonic boundaries for music, inspiring a slew of new wave era synth pop groups who followed in their wake. Most importantly, Kraftwerk remain one of the most important artists in electronic music, their sound leaving an indelible mark on the evolution of later genres, particularly on hip-hop, techno and house music. Without Kraftwerk, the club scene as we know it today would not exist. Must hear is The Robots. Another absolute heavyweight now, Bob Marley. Bob Marley quickly became a household name after his breakthrough in 1973, imbuing reggae with rock star allure and a magnetic stage presence, proving that reggae was about more than a series of novelty hits. Marley ensured his place as one of the most influential musicians of all time by elevating the genre to a space where it received both critical and commercial acclaim. His Rastafarian-inspired lyrics espoused a humanitarian, easygoing worldview that made him a global icon for peace. Upon his death in 1981, the dreadlocked superstar had become part of reggae's wider role in the rise of hip-hop, and remains an idol for those seeking to overcome racial barriers through the power of music. The must hear is Get Up, Stand Up. Great song. Number 7 we have Kate Bush. With a sweep of her famous white dress, the high priestess of progressive pop, Kate Bush ushered in a new dawn for female musicians. vocal range meant her Pixie-like presence was felt throughout much of the next decade, leaving a legacy of experimental art pop records. Kate Bush's peculiar femininity and naked emotion conjures ethereal beauty like a Celtic mother goddess, inspiring countless female artists to this day. Must hear is Wuthering Heights. Next on the list we have Prince, a genre-defying eccentric talent. Prince's role as the MTV generation's most unpredictable pop star cannot be ignored. Unlike most other artists, Prince can claim to have been one of the most influential musicians in almost any genre. From Beatles-esque psychedelia to sweeping power balladry with Purple Rain, the Minneapolis genius fused everything from rock and roll, soul, gospel, R&B, synth, funk and new wave to flamboyant extremes, redefining attitudes to fashion and sexuality along the way. With a flair for eclecticism and embodying a Hendrixian virtuosity on guitar, Prince had, before his death in 2016, influenced everyone from rock fans and aspiring MCs to the neo-soul sisters of the 90s. Must hear is 1999. Into the final five now. Firstly we have Pink Floyd. In the 70s, progressive rock giants Pink Floyd broke the mold with albums like The Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here, which saw them engineer a state-of-the-art sound of grandeur. Not only did their albums sell in vast quantities, but Pink Floyd's inventive marriage of socially conscious lyricism with studio-based artistry and aural ambience significantly broadened music's sonic horizons. Masters of the concept album, Pink Floyd's musical prowess had a far-reaching impact and inspired musicians with the new possibilities of sound production. Must hear is Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Great tune. Number 4 we have Led Zeppelin. In their respective fields, each Led Zeppelin member sits in the pantheon of the most influential musicians of all time. Together as the greatest rock band of all time, their majestic hard rock sound is unlikely to be dethroned anytime soon. Mixing blues rock with old English magic, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant's songwriting ran the full gamut from epic balladry to worldly exoticism. Meanwhile, the stentorian rhythm section of John Bonham on drums and John Paul Jones on bass propelled rock and roll into heavier pastures, laying the foundations for what would later evolve into heavy metal. Every guitar band worth their salt owes their career to Led Zeppelin, and Must Hear is Immigrant Song. And number 3 we have Jimi Hendrix. When Jimi Hendrix arrived in the UK in 1966, no one could have predicted the earth-scorching impact he would have. Leaving other virtuosos like Eric Clapton in the dust, Hendrix's bluesy proficiency on guitar and his exemplary use of riffs and shredding was truly jaw-dropping. Seemingly overnight, Hendrix transformed into a rock icon who rewrote the rulebook through his formidable use of distortion, and he remains one of the most influential musicians ever to pick up a guitar. The fact that the instrument never sounded the same after Hendrix plugged in his amp is a testament to his talent. Must Hear is Voodoo Child. You knew this band was going to be on this list. And number 2 we have the Beatles. Have always been and remain a phenomenon. The timeless songwriting of Lennon McCartney and impeccable musicianship of George Harrison and Ringo Starr continues to inspire millions. With an eye for cultural relevance, the Beatles' exploration of multiple genres opened doors for pop music which have never been closed. And that's without mentioning their artistic daring and fearless studio experimentation. What the Beatles achieved in their 10 years together remains unprecedented and awe-inspiring. finish this list and this video with none other than David Bowie. Nobody changed music as much as art rock chameleon David Bowie, a master provocateur confronting sexual conformity with his androgynous looks. Bowie's ingenious personas led the way in inspiring others to meld fashion, theatre and performance art with popular music. Even in death, Bowie composed his own elegy, with his final album Star immortalising him forevermore as the world's definitive artist. Turning his hand to every genre in vogue, Bowie easily tops our list of the most influential musicians of all time. His influence will be felt for generations to come. And that, my friends, was a list of 30 of the most influential musicians on music in history. If there's anyone you feel was unjustly left out of this video, then be sure to leave a comment down below. I for one feel like Bad Baby is missing. Who else? Yeah, a bit disappointing. KSI not on there. Lonely Island, Midnight Beast. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know why. It's not even a funny joke. I'm just gonna win the video. Thank you guys for watching so much, as always, and leave a like if you enjoyed, and be sure to leave comments requesting any other history videos